My name is McCullough, and I am an environmental science teacher at Bellarmine College Prep. I've been teaching there for 10 years. So I did a calculation the other day, and I realized that in my career, I've taught about 1,000 kids environmental science, which was astounding to me that I've been in teaching that long. Certainly, I never planned on that. But it felt pretty good realizing that there's that many kids out there who at least had to sit through my class for a year and listen to what I had to say. You know, I don't know how many of them became full-fledged environmentalists, but I imagine that most of them maybe changed their lives in at least some subtle ways. And you multiply that by 1,000, well, that's pretty good.
Like water vapor and carbon dioxide are naturally occurring in the atmosphere. And thank God we have them, because if we didn't, the Earth's surface temperature would drop by about 33 degrees Celsius, well below the freezing point of water, making life on Earth essentially impossible. The whole point of this is that you've got a lot more heat energy being deposited here than here. And the second law of thermodynamics tells us something about heat. Something we observe every day. If you set a cup of coffee down in a cold room, what happens to that cup of coffee? It's going to cool off, yeah, until the point that it's the same temperature as the room. Everything has reached equilibrium, and our planet does the same thing. In my mind, the argument is this. We know that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and no one has ever disputed that. It's well regarded that carbon dioxide captures heat and re-radiates it. And there's no dispute about what happens when you burn stuff. If you burn stuff that contains carbon, it forms carbon dioxide. There's no disputing that either. So you put those two together, and it says that one would expect all of the coal and natural gas and oil that we are combusting to lead to increasing temperatures.
Is global warming something that, like, once it happens and the sea levels rise and the weather starts getting all bad, is it like not reversible at all? Like we're just screwed for like the rest of eternity, or is there like some like equalizing like factors?
The best way I can answer that question is with a number. The average residence time for carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is about 100 years. So it wouldn't be forever necessarily, but it would be for a long time. And we also have the issue of the feedback loops. So if we have some of those feedback loops, like the methane that's stored in the permafrost, you know, we could reach a tipping point at which it becomes irreversible.
I got into the environmental movement in college, and I started off, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I wanted to be a lawyer who could feel good about what he did, be able to sleep at night. So I said, well, maybe I'll be an environmental lawyer. Environment sounds pretty good. I like the environment. I like trees, animals. So I started looking into environmental law. Took a few environmental classes, and when I did, I realized that this was a really critical issue, and that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, is to be engaged in that fight.